Hello everyone. So let's have a look at probability tree today. So Max has a 0.5 of winning tennis. So we have 0.5 here. So remember that probability always adds to 1. Therefore, that's the probability of him losing must be 0.25. And 0.2 of winning football. So football is 0.2. So remember, win and lose must add up to 1. Therefore, losing must be 0.8. Similarly here, so 0.2 winning football and 0.8 losing the football. So remember that so before doing the other questions, silver and gold, I always like to work out the probability of winning tennis and winning football. So win, so that this means 0.75 times 0.2. So this branch win would give you probability of 0.15. Then we look at Max winning tennis and losing football would be 0.75 multiplied by 0.8. The probability him Max winning tennis and losing football is 0.6. Then we look at the probability of Max losing tennis, then winning football is 0.25 multiplied by 0.2. Remember, this is him losing tennis and winning football, and so we use multiply in probability. So 0.25 multiplied by 0.2, we have equals to 0.05. Then finally, we're looking at Max losing tennis and then lose football. So it's 0.25 multiplied by 0.8. It equals to 0.2. Now let's have a look at the silver questions. So question 1 asks you to find the probability that Max wins tennis and lose football. So this is Max winning tennis, then loses football. So remember, when we say the word and, it means multiply. So we have 0.75 times 0.8. So our probability is this branch here. So it's equals to 0.6. Let's look at the next one. So Max wins tennis and football. So Max winning tennis is this here. Then he wins again for football. So this is our answer. So it's, remember, and we multiply. So we have 0.75 multiplied by 0.2. So it's 0.15. So now let's look at Max loses tennis. So Max losing tennis is this branch here and wins football. So it's 0.25 multiplied by 0.5. So our answer is 0.2. So our answer is 0.05. And the last one, so Max loses tennis. So he loses tennis, then he loses football. So it's the final branch, so it goes down. Remember, and means multiply, so it's 0.25 multiplied by 0.8, so the answer is 0.2. Now let's look at the gold questions. So find the probability of each of the following events. So the first one, it says Max wins at least one game. So Max winning at least one game. So he could wins for the tennis and wins for the football. So that means he wins at least one because he has won 2 games. So we have the probability of 0.15 plus. So Max could win tennis and loses football. He's still winning 1 game, and the probability is 0.6. So we plus 0.6. And another way to do this is that he could lose his tennis and wins football. He is still winning 1 game, and the probability is 0.05. And adding them together, the total should be 0.8. Question 2. Max didn't win both games. So Max didn't win both games. That means Max lose both games. So it would be lose and lose. So that means he didn't win both games. And Max winning and Max losing. So again, this would means he's not winning both games. So the probability is 0.6. And Max losing and winning would also means that Max didn't win both games. So we have 0.05. And the last one is that Max loses both games. So lose, which is 0.2, means he's not winning both games. So adding them together, you should have 0.85. Question 3. Max wins exactly 1 game. So Max winning exactly 1 game, so he could win, then lose, so he's only winning 1 game. So the probability of him winning tennis and lose football is 0.6. Or he could lose, then win. So he's only winning 1 game. So exactly 1. So the probability is 0.05. So plus 0.05. So the probability of Max winning exactly 1 game is 0.65. And the last question, Max loses at least 1 game. So Max loses at least 1 game. That means he could loses at least 1 game. So he could lose 1 game, or he could lose 2 games. So if Max loses for 1 game, so he could win, then lose. So the probability of this happening is 0.6. So he's losing 1 game. Or Max could lose, then lose tennis, then win football. So again, he's losing at least 1. So the probability is 0.05. And the final one is that Max could lose, then lose again. So it says at least one, so he could lose both games. And the probability of him losing both is 0.2. And total probability is 0.85.